Alright guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video, and AGL Metal Cooler has just dropped on Global Dokkan. So I figured now would be a good time to kind of show, like, how solid our boy Metal Cooler can be at the Rainbow level. I do feel like Metal Cooler is probably one of the better Dokkan Fest exclusives. His category is pretty good. You have a lot of really strong Dokkan Fest exclusive cards, Transforming Frieza, really, really good. Full Power Frieza, really, really good. You have a lot of cards like that that are just going to be very, very solid. Now, I would say, I do think that the team certainly could use a buff. And it is actually about to get a buff on JP. Tech Golden Frieza is about to get his Easy 8, which will be very, very good. Because Tech Golden Frieza, already is a great damage reduction unit. All they have to do to fix Tech Golden Frieza, nice dodge right there, is they just have to make it so that Golden Frieza either has an attack buff or damage reduction, even if HP is under 50%. Because right now, if you fall below it, he's a worthless card. But, if he can keep one of the two, even when he falls to low health, that will dramatically improve him and make him a lot better. Okay, so, I want to try and get Metal Cooler built up. The thing about him, the friend one, I believe, is 69% in the dupe system. Yeah, okay. So, Metal Cooler does need to be hit in order to build up his full power, right? I believe he needs to be hit approximately 7 times in order to fully build up his attacking passive, because Metal Cooler already starts out with 80% attack and defense, which is a good number, and then every time he's hit, he gets an additional 10% attack, up to an extra maximum of 70%. So fully built up, he can get up to 150%. For something like Dokkan events, you're going to be able to get that pretty easily. Now, for something like Super Battle Road, maybe you're not going to see it quite as much. Who's coming up next? Turles, huh? Okay, so I'm probably actually going to keep this rotation like this right here, because we want to get Metal Cooler hit as much as possible. This rotation, he's not going to have Fierce Battle because he's linked up with this Int Frieza, and then I'll probably get this SCR Frieza set up on the other rotation as well. So Metal Cooler, just gets stronger and stronger the more he's hit. He does a lot. He heals, like, if it's also a turn where Metal Cooler gets damaged, then he will heal 7% HP at the end of turn, which is still useful. Any HP regeneration is a very strong ability, and especially good for something like, Super Battle Road. Also, Metal Cooler does lower attack on Super Attack, which is very good. And, really, lowering attack is a fantastic mechanic nowadays. They don't really make bosses immune to that most of the time, so it really can save you a lot of damage when going through events. Then, if we consider, like, Transforming Frieza, like how well Transforming Frieza regens HP, and then, combine that with, like, the Metal Coolers, you have a team that's going to give you, some pretty decent healing, actually. Looks like Tech Frieza shares... What is the extra link? Probably Nightmare that he has? Nightmare or Thirst for Conquest, one of the two. But... you're going to be able to get a lot of healing on this team, which is very, very good. In particular, too, like, I think LR Metal Cooler does have the auto regeneration link. So, if you have those two linked up, they will heal a little bit of HP like that. Like, you could do a lot of different things. I actually did just get the last dupe of the LR Metal Cooler army, so I'm going to, now I'm going to start using them a lot more now that I've got them rainbowed. That's going to be exciting because, they are a very, very solid unit as well. So, okay, I guess we want to do it kind of like that. We want Metal Cooler to be in the middle right here. That'll get his best buff. So let's go ahead and do this right here. Metal Cooler, of course, he's been hit several times. We're going to try and max out his attack stat as well. We're going to do that on the movie bosses / full power team, because over there we're able to get some nasty support type units for this Metal Cooler. I mean, to be honest, we could do it on this team as well. I don't really... Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, 2.63. That's without Big Bad Bosses active, by the way. Like, this Metal Cooler easily can jump well beyond 3 million damage, it looks like, because his passive is not even all the way built up. Big Bad Bosses is not active. This Frieza gives... What does Frieza give? Is it 25% or 30%? I actually can't remember off the top of my head. I actually have to really quick double check. I know that Frieza is an outstanding like support type unit though, especially for this team. So he gives 25%. Yeah, so we could get like, the AGL World Tournament Final Form Cooler, which will give 40%. that's probably what I'm planning on doing with this metal cooler, actually. So, yeah, the team doesn't really... Oh, I'm not able to get a super attack. That'll be fine. We'll be able to build up his passive a little bit more to see that extra damage. But, yeah, we'll probably do it on the movie boss team anyway. You know, the rotation is going to be Turles, Metal Cooler, as well as the AGL Final Form World Tournament Cooler. I actually, like, I want to do a video breaking that cooler down. Like, I actually rainbowed him, and I've not done, like, a video on him standalone since I've rainbowed him. So I want to put that one out, especially because, like, he's being so useful in a lot of these events. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. We'll go ahead and pop a Dende real quick. Now, we're probably going to be able to get more attacking power by having Cooler in the middle, huh? Yeah, definitely. Alright, so we'll go ahead and do this then. I have not kept track of exactly how many times Metal Cooler has been hit, so I'm not really too sure, like, how much of his passive is built up. But regardless, this should be a pretty good number right here. And, 2.9 million for Full Power Frieza. That shows you how ridiculous. Full Power Frieza is another unit I want to do a video on. Yeah, 2.72. Full Power Frieza is another unit I want to do a video on. You know, just sort of like showing like his max potential and all the stuff he can do, because, you know, Full Power Frieza, like, he just did 2.9 million. Like, that's a lot of damage, dude. That's very, very high. So, ooh, we could potentially get Big Bad Bosses at. Oh, if I had put Turles in the first slot, we would have had Big Bad Bosses active, I think. Oh, and then we're healing up so much right now. Okay, sure. We'll just leave this like this. Actually, can I get... If I get this Frieza in the first spot, we may be able to activate Big Bad Bosses. Remember, this Metal Cooler is not rainbowed like mine. But, you know, Metal Cooler... you know, you do want to get that one dupe just so he can crit. But it's not like that, like, big a deal. Like Metal Cooler is still going to be a really strong unit even without... dupes, but of course, you know, he is a unit that will drastically get powered up from having dupes. So yeah, 2.72. That one's not even rainbow. That's with Big Bad Bosses active. Big Bad Bosses is just like a broken link. You know, I would say Big Bad Bosses is probably the best link in the game. You know, 25% attack and defense is just that's a monstrous number. Absolutely, like, huge. So, all right, now let's go. I mean, I'll do it on the movie boss team. This same team can be done here on the Wicked Bloodline team, where we'll have Cooler in between Turles and that AGL Final Form World Tournament Cooler. I'll also make sure Cooler's passive is all the way built up, and we'll try and get Big Bad Bosses as well. So I'll probably just hop right back into the hit event, and we should be able to have Cooler. Maybe he can get at, like, close to 3.5 million. I think there's a pretty good chance. Alright, guys, so we finally got the rotation I was looking for. This is the single hardest one of these I've ever had to do. This was a nightmare to get done because, like, alright, so to fully explain the scope of how we're going to bring out Metal Cooler's full power right here. So, basically, number one, we have this full passive built up. So he's got 150% attack, basically. He had the full 70% extra attack he gets. Now, remember, that multiplies with his 80% attack. So that leads to a ridiculous number buff. Kind of like how, like, Tech Beerus works, right? That's why, like, the Beerus units are hit so hard. It's the same thing that's going to happen with Metal Cooler here. Now, our HP is also really low, which is going to give us Big Bad Bosses. Now, of Cooler's attack links, we have Nightmare and we have Thirst for Conquest active from the AGL World Tournament Cooler. I actually still got to do the video on this guy. I really want to because he's incredibly useful. Any AGL units on some of these teams, like, you can rock this guy and he'll work really, really well. He's just a strong overall unit. But he has Thirst for Conquest and he's got Nightmare. Both of those links active for Metal Cooler. Plus, he's giving 40% attack to Metal Cooler, right? Then, of course, we also have Big Bad Bosses active, 25% extra attack. Then, Turles is on rotation as well. Turles is also giving 40% attack, and he's giving Fierce Battle to Metal Cooler. So, like, this is literally Metal Cooler completely built up. Like, there's not really anything more you could do at this current time. This is going to be the best we can get from Metal Cooler. I'm going to go ahead and pop a Nurse Chi-Chi at him. Just to describe how difficult this was, like, you can see, like, I've been using all these items. Like, it's a nightmare because of the fact that Metal Cooler falls below 50% HP and transforms Giant, that ruins everything. Events are just way too weak. Like, they go down so quickly. You don't have time to build Cooler all the way up. I couldn't do it on the movie bosses team because Broly is too strong. Like, you can't avoid super attacks with him. He always gets a guaranteed super, so he just turns every boss into into salami. Like, it's just over in seconds. And then obviously on the Revived Warrior team, we can't get the same buff we could. We could do this rotation on movie bosses or the Wicked Bloodline team, but the other 3 category teams, Metal Cooler, Sound, we can't do it. So here we go. Now, the only issue here would be if we got a Dokkan attack, that would be really annoying. But we're not going to get it. Okay, we're just going to avoid it. I used another Shichi item, so we're not going to die. Metal Cooler is fully built up. Big bad bosses, double 40% support. I actually think Cooler is going to break 4 million attack, to be honest. I think that's how high he's going to get. So let's see. And he gets up to... Hold on, I want to... This is a screenshot. I missed it, but... Wow. 4.3 million. That's Metal Cooler at his... And the World Tournament Cooler did 1.44. I think we could get higher for this Cooler as well. Wow. That, I don't know. That might actually be his highest. I'm not too sure. But, like, that's crazy for a World Tournament support type unit. So, there we go, guys. That... Metal Cooler is really good. Now, typically... If you're just going through an event, I think Metal Cooler is probably going to be sitting somewhere between 2 and 3 million, depending on how many dupes you have in him, right? But I think that'll be like a normal level. But yeah, he can get all the way up past 4 million. That's... I don't know how many Dokkan Fest exclusives can even get that high. Like, you know, for example, it looks like Metal Cooler hits hard. Yeah, it took me 30 minutes in that fight. But it seems like Metal Cooler, like, he hits harder than even Ultra Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Like, Metal Cooler, that highest damage number he just did, that's, like, close to what the LR Super Saiyan 4s get to, dude. Like, Metal Cooler is really that good. So, wow. All right, let's let's go ahead and break this bad boy down. Pretty good, pretty good. Alright, so this is Fusion with the Big Getty Star Metal Cooler. His leader skill is Wicked Bloodline category, key 3 and 170% the stats. That translation, I do like that. Wicked Bloodline is solid. That's a good one. You know, Transformation Boost I don't like, but, you know, Wicked Bloodline, I can really rock with that. And then he also gives Extreme AGL 3 key and 90% the stats. That's why we're able to use Turles on the team. His super attack is the Lock-On Buster, which does immense damage and lowers attack and defense. So he can get past 4 million and lower attack. Like, that's wild, dude. That's so good. His passive skill, Mechanical Planets Domination, is attack and defense 80%. Then he gets an additional 10% attack every time he's hit, up to a max of 70%. He recovers 7% HP at the end of a turn in which he gets hit. And then he also will transform the core appears when HP is 50% or below. You know, it's a giant ape transformation. It is very powerful once he does go into that. It only lets you do it once. One thing I really like Cooler's giant transformation compared to a lot of other units is because you know exactly when it's going to happen. There is no RNG involved, right? That's good. That is really, really good. So you can, like, kind of bank on when it's going to happen, whereas a lot of the other Great Apes, it's completely random. That's what makes it, the mechanic, not so good, in my opinion, because it's just not something you can really rely on. Now, his links are Auto Regeneration, Nightmare, Thirst for Conquest, Strongest Clan in Space, Big Bad Bosses, Transform, and Fierce Battle. So we, of course, did have all of Metal Cooler's attack links active. Fierce Battle, Thirst for Conquest, Nightmare, and Big Bad Bosses. He also did have Strongest Clan in Space active, but, you know, that's just a key link with AGL Cooler. But, you know, so that again, that's the highest that we can get Metal Cooler. That took me multiple hours to do, by the way, too, because I was having an issue 3 separate times. I got to the rotation, Cooler built up with the full rotation, and Turles transformed on me 3 separate times. So it's just a nightmare to get that certain scenario. It would have been a lot easier. Well, no, actually, I couldn't. I was going to say I could have used, like, the AGL Metal Rildo, but no, like, you know, because Turles had Fierce Battle, which we needed. And I don't think that AGL Metal Rildo has both Thirst for Conquest and Nightmare. He would need to have both of those in order for it to work. Actually, maybe he does. No, he has Thirst for Conquest, but he does not have Nightmare, that AGL Metal Rildo. I don't have, by the way. I don't... that AGL, Extreme AGL support Rildo, I don't have him because the AGL type banner essentially has not been on JP in 2 years. Like, they haven't... The banner has not been up for more than one multi-summon at a time since 2017. Like, that's a fact. That like, it has not been around since 2017. So, like, they're freezing your boy out on that for the support units. Hopefully they get Awakening soon and they're on, like, a banner or something. There's no reason... They can't be exclusive to those banners if they're not going to put them out. Like, it's just ridiculous. Cooler's 12 key multiplier is 150%. You know, very good, what we would expect. And then he is on many different category teams here. A lot of different teams. So, of course, he's on the Wicked Bloodline team, his own team, which is a very, very good team. He's over here on the Revived Warriors, of course, very good. Strong addition to that Revived Warrior team. He's on the Movie Boss team, so he's usable on Dragon Ball Super Broly's team, and this guy, you know, can work good in there. The only thing that's a bit of a shame is that this Cooler does not have Shocking Speed. That would have helped. That if he had Shocking Speed, that would have pushed him, like, even higher, because then, like, it would be so easy to use this Cooler. Even still, it's not too tough, but you kind of do want him with at least another, like, Wicked Bloodline character that has Strongest Clan in Space at least, because that's his only key link is Strongest Clan in Space. So you kind of do want a support type unit around for him. He's also on the Giant category here, where he was the best character on the Giant category, and then LR Super Baby 2 came out. So LR Super Baby 2, I would say, is probably the best character. I don't know. Is Metal Cooler better than Super Baby 2? No way. No, he couldn't be. But, you know, Super Baby 2 and then Metal Cooler, those two were monstrous additions to the Giant category team. I don't think I've done a video on the new Giant category team, like looked at, you know, with Baby on it and Metal Cooler and all them. I might do that because I think the team is probably a lot better now that we have, like, premium Dokkan Fest, like, exclusive level units on here. Plus, you know, Lord Slug is really good as well. And Great Ape Tora, I might not have done a video on the Giant team since Great Ape Tora came out. So he's a really good support type unit for that team. So the Giant team, definitely a lot better. And then finally, we have this. He's on the Artificial Lifeform team. Global will get that during the 4-year anniversary. That is LR Super Baby 2's team. And of course, Metal Cooler is going to fit right in on this team. You know, and this is another team where you could use Darkness Toa or Turles on it for support as well to make it really work good. So there we go, guys. There is AGL Metal Cooler. He's definitely a unit worth summoning for. I don't really recommend global players summon for him because of the fact that the Gacha Coin mechanic is not out yet and Metal Cooler's banner is not that good. But Metal Cooler himself is worth summoning for, but I still don't recommend it. Like, you guys saw the damage numbers he puts up. He's very, very good. He's a good defensive unit. He's good in EZAs. He's good on Super Battle Road. He's good, you know, in Dokkan Battlefield. He's good everywhere. He's a fantastic unit. So we'll go ahead and finish up here. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch y'all next time. And if you do decide to summon on Global, good luck, because getting this guy is a big deal. So later, guys.